Go.
Where the gold cross, can you tell what I'm pointing at? It's kind of in the middle of the fabric. The little point in the middle of the fabric goes on your little middle dot.
But that's nowhere near the middle of the fabric.
Okay, it doesn't matter. This is now the center so that it lines up with the center on this side. That way we don't have to draw lines on every single stinking ball. Take 4 pins to tack it down. Take your next piece of fabric, fold it in half, and put a crease in it. Fold it in half the other way, put a slight crease in it. It's really hard to see the crease in this fabric. Take a pin, find the middle, put a pin on the wrong side of the fabric through to the right side of the fabric. Take that pin, put it in the middle of your ball. You look confused. Okay. Push it all the way in. Fold the fabric in half. So now you've got it half. Make sure I'm doing this correctly because the object is to line them up now that you've got the other side down. Fold one corner down so you have an edge. Fold the other side down so you have a triangle. Okay, turn it around. Take your next piece of fabric, fold it again, put your crease in it. Take your pin, put it through, line it up with that piece of fabric, push the pin all the way in, fold the fabric over, and make your triangle again.
It's really hard to see from this angle.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm just...
Well, I'm thinking that if you're going to do this, the camera needs to be somehow behind me.
Or above you.
Or above me. Because it's really hard for me to be able to see what I'm doing if it's facing away from me.
Even at the side, it might be better.
And repeat until all 4 pieces. Ouch. Stab yourself with hundreds of pins. Because you will. And this is the perfect example as to why you put the piece of fabric over to underneath, because otherwise you'd have a white line there from the styrofoam ball. I have an extra piece of fabric.
Did you use one of the end pieces for this? Is that why?
I don't know, I might have on the other side.
Quit.
That was a huge
I
sigh.
think that was Akio.
He's laying by the crate, by the cupboard.
The tree cupboard?
Yeah. Just so.
He has nailed it on you, can't he?
I don't think so.
Who wants a treat? You want a treat? Huh? Come on. You want a treat?
Tons of
Yeah,
them.
get up.
So to do your next row, you pick your next color, which in my case is going to be red.
What happened if you did every other one?
You can do every other one. It's just going to look a little different. And approximately halfway down, put your middle piece and make your triangle. Yeah, we can actually make these a lot smaller. That's definitely gonna overlap. Flip it all the way around though.
So when you do this with ribbon, are you using 2-inch ribbon?
I cut them into 2-inch lengths. Most of my ribbon is only about 1 inch wide. So I do have to use a lot more ribbon than I do fabric because it's not, the pieces don't end up as big. The triangles aren't as big, so I have to have more to cover the
More rows.
more rows. Which is why you can get more designs and stuff out of, the smaller you use, the more it takes to cover it, so the more colors you can use or mix here, mix there. It's a good thing these things aren't really all that sharp. And depending on how tender people's fingers are,
Mm-hmm.
they may have a problem, which if we buy like pencils or erasers or something, you can use those. Or let them know that if they have a thumbtack or a thimble,
Mm-hmm.
you can use that.
Maybe I'll make clay circle things for everybody so they have something to put them on.
What?
Maybe I'll make little clay
Little holder for 'em.
holder thingies for everybody.
To hold the ball, you mean?
Mm-hmm. So they don't slide all around.
Yeah, because they're gonna roll all over the place.
That's a lot of one-use clay things you make.
Yeah, but you could make it out of the.
Scrap clay that I
Scrap
have
clay
left over
that-
from last year.
You're never gonna use for anything else because it doesn't have to be pretty.
Can you stick a pin in it and just?
Well, yeah, you could, but
What do you mean stick a pin in it?
take 4 pins, make a.
Yeah. That.
I was thinking of stick one pin, but then you gotta stand the pin up, so you have to stick 3 sections still use.
So this is not going to take near as long as I had feared.
Well, she's been at it about,
Since 5
20.
o'clock.
yeah.
Well, I'm at 8 minutes and 45 seconds, and you are
But
halfway.
I also know what I'm
It's 24
doing.
minutes
Yeah.
or so. She's been at it for about 24 minutes.
So I'm hoping that we can keep it to about 45 minutes for this section.
I mean, even if they don't finish it, they'll have the idea of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they finish half, you know,
We'll
they
just
can
have
do
to
the other half themselves.
Yeah, we'll just have to show them how to finish the edges.
Yeah, that's real easy.
Because I figured we eat at noon, done by probably 12:30 is my hope. Because I'm actually hoping that we can eat a little bit earlier than noon if everybody shows up on time, because we're supposed to start at 11:30. And that would give us enough time to socialize a little bit and then eat by noon. And then if we go till 12:30 eating, that would take us.
Till possibly 1 to clean up
No, we're just taking.
and handing things out. Unless
Well-
we're gonna have that prepared beforehand.
It can be all prepared beforehand because we're gonna go on Friday evening, and so now that we have them separated, we'll just have
Put out
each
a-
of the things set up, and then I don't know what she's doing for her craft, but we can go ahead and have most of this set up.
So
and
that at
then-
least everybody has all the supplies they need and we can jump right into it.
Yeah, and then if we
Do you
go
wanna
from
have her
12:30 to 2, that's 45 minutes for each craft.
Do you want her to go first since
I don't
hers is
know.
gonna take paint and that'll gives the paint some time to dry while they're doing this one?
I don't know. I'll have to ask her about that. I'll ask her about that.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna wanna take the green row and move it up a little bit. You can also take them, instead of folding it like that. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Fold it in an actual triangle, and then you don't have that line.
And now you've got one that's different.
Yeah, I know.
Hi. I'm not going anywhere. I kind of like the line, personally.
The line makes it easier to line things up,
Mm-hmm.
but I think ribbon especially actually looks pretty without the line, unless the edge of your ribbon, like I have some ribbon that has a silver edge, so it's gonna, when I get around to making something out of that, it's gonna be really pretty with that silver edge. Okay, now you have your 4 in the middle, your next row is 8. You should be out of the red color. I'm not out of the red color, but that's okay. So then you start on your last color. And you do the one that's underneath. See how this fold and this fold are on top? You want to start with one that's underneath. We're going to go about a quarter of the way down, maybe a third. And if you measured correctly, which I did not, this line here should line up with that line there, but I didn't measure it exact. That's the why. That's why you need to know where the center of your ball is. Then you flip it around. And you do the other side. And this is when it starts getting tough, when you're pushing your pin through that many layers of fabric.
Mm.
Which is why if they line up better, it's a little
I don't
easier.
want you, Pepper. No, don't want you.
I don't want you either. Go pick on Peter. He's sitting over there.
Yeah, trying to help. All the dogs left me.
They were all jumping on me out there. All 3 of them were trying to get on my lap outside when I was on the phone. Somebody pick me up.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, it looks great.
We did good.
Yeah. whole tree with those on there would be gorgeous.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
I wonder if I'm going to be able to convince everybody to give me their balls.
I hope you aren't recording sound.
Yes, of course I'm recording sound.
Great. I'm gonna say
And
that.
you talked about
And
me.
Sherry wants you to give all your balls to her.
Be really pretty on one tree. Actually, maybe we should have them put on the tree at the
At the
church.
church. That's an idea.
And then they could take their balls home when they're done.
Yeah, but how do they know
I
it's
have to be
theirs?
able to mark it in those
I
so they
know.
know whose is whose.
Yeah.
We can do that.
I wouldn't want to get somebody else's ball.
That could actually be done with just a little piece of paper and some tape, or like a one of those things that prints your name on a piece of sticky tape stuff.
A labeler.
Yeah, that's what they're called. How long it's been since I've used one of those. Now pick the color ribbon you want.
And the problem is, how are we going to get the same ribbon?
We buy the ribbon. The ribbon will probably be a little different unless you
I
buy
like this one.
this. I bought off Amazon. This I bought off Amazon. This one's off Amazon.
That's the one I like. It's not.
This one I bought at Hobby Lobby. But we could probably find something similar.
I like the sparkly.
I like
in
the
that.
sparkly in that too.
And
Yeah,
it's
but
dark like that.
But it's more money,
red.
I'm sure, than if you use like the green that you got from Amazon, which is probably less money because you can.
Well, that's the question. Do you want a green ribbon next to the green, or do you want red ribbon next to the green so that it's...
I don't think it's going to make that big a deal.
That's why I brought all of it. Because I wanted to know which one would look better.
Well, that dark would look really nice, but it depends on whether they'd have it. That's the biggest thing is when we were there.
Yeah,
They
there
didn't
was
have that big a
much-
selection.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a very good selection there.
But we could look for something like that on Amazon. See if they have a red sparkly type ribbon.
I like the fact that it's dark, a little bit darker. But I don't. Now that it's not now that it's not in the bag, I'm not sure I like it as well.
See, I was thinking that red might be a little closer to this red.
Yeah, because it's a little brighter. That dark is a
Yeah.
little too dark, I'm afraid. Although this red
Is awfully
is
dark.
dark.
Yeah. See, and this
Yeah,
is
so
why it
you're-
doesn't matter.
Hmm?
If you have little pieces that are shredded, you can just hide them.
So, this
where am I at?
you're at 18. 19 minutes. So
40 minutes plus whatever it takes for the ribbon.
plus the
Plus
instruction.
the fact that
We're
nobody's going to have any idea what they're doing, and you know it's going to be really, really slow.
Yeah, it's gonna take longer. So we're gonna be pushing it for 45 minutes each, for sure.